And unfortunately, Harry's going to go. And if he feels he's going to go he's never going to be criticized again. Never going to be held to account again. And there's going to be never any more public bad publicity. I think he's living in cloud cuckoo land. Well, he loves his wife and he wants to do what? Well, I love my wife, but she didn't stop me doing what I like to do. Imagine witnessing what the entire world celebrated as the most romantic event of the decade, a royal wedding that promised to redefine the British monarchy. But what if everything you saw on television was nothing more than a carefully orchestrated illusion? What if the reality behind those golden gates was pure misery? Oh, I was there. Hated the day. The day was a miserable day. Arthur Edwards, the legendary royal photographer who has captured the British royal family's most precious moments for over 4 decades, finally shattered a fairy tale myth surrounding Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's wedding with a confession that stunned the royal fans. Edwards isn't just any photographer. He's the one providing a visual chronicle of royal history. He's witnessed Charles and Diana's tragic love story, captured William and Kate's genuine romance, and documented countless moments that have defined a monarchy's legacy. His lens has seen real joy, authentic celebration, and genuine family unity. But on May 19, 2018, he encountered something completely different. It was the worst royal engagement I ever did, a royal wedding I ever did. Those words should send chills through anyone who believed in the Sussex love story. Behind the polished broadcasts that mesmerized millions lay scenes of genuine discomfort and calculated chaos. Distinguished guests suffered through punishing heat, cramped seating, and an atmosphere thick with tension and unease. Senior royals, people who had dedicated their entire lives to serving the crown, found themselves marginalized, shoved into back rows, while Hollywood celebrities who barely knew the couple occupied the best seats. He was angry and I felt, no, we were punished for that. This wasn't a traditional royal celebration. It was a meticulously staged spectacle designed to maximize media exposure and launch a personal brand. The authenticity that typically characterizes royal ceremonies was replaced with calculated moments for cameras, crafted to redefine the couple's public image rather than unite families. Edwards lamented that he was unable to capture a single usable photograph due to deliberate camera avoidance. The fairy tale was crumbling before it had even begun. The sheer scale of the spectacle could not mask the brutal reality endured by those actually present, while millions of television viewers swooned over the romantic pageantry. Guests adorned in heavy formal attire were battling unrelenting heat that transformed the grand halls of Windsor into a veritable pressure cooker. Hundreds of distinguished attendees wilting under brutal May sunshine, their 1,000 lb outfits becoming torture devices in the suffocating atmosphere. Women fan themselves desperately, makeup streaming down their faces, while some visibly struggled with the harsh conditions that completely undermined the carefully crafted image of grace and composure. I've done some really lovely royal weddings. I did both French child King Charles's weddings, I did William's wedding. I did Andrew's wedding. I did Sophie and Edward. They were lovely occasions, but that today I couldn't get out of Windsor quick enough. Edwards watched in horror as the very people who had built their lives around royal service suffered in uncomfortable silence. He revealed that conditions were so unbearable that guests literally couldn't wait to escape Windsor Castle. But the physical misery was nothing compared to the psychological humiliation of the seating hierarchy. The most shocking betrayal came in how the couple systematically marginalized their own family in favor of celebrity spectacle. Loyal royals who had dedicated decades to crown service found themselves relegated to less visible corners, while Hollywood celebrities with tenuous connections basked in privileged positions. Imagine Oprah Winfrey, who had met the couple exactly once, strutting into a front row seat while actual family members strained to see over her head. George and Amal Clooney paraded through prime positions despite never having spent meaningful time with Harry or Meghan. The message was crystal clear. Star power mattered more than loyalty, service, or family bonds. Photographers, crucial too, immortalizing royal moments, faced unprecedented sabotage. Edwards described Meghan and Harry's calculated avoidance and uncooperative demeanor that resulted in a near-complete absence of publishable photographs, an unprecedented occurrence in his four-decade career. It was just hopeless. And then the carriage shot. When they went past me in the carriage, they looked the other way. So for me it was a disaster. This wasn't camera shyness. It was deliberate punishment of the British media disguised as a wedding celebration. The atmosphere, charged with forced smiles and hidden frustrations, hinted at deeper divisions that extended far beyond the ceremony. Every uncomfortable moment, every calculated snub, every breach of protocol was foreshadowing the very public rifts and family warfare that would consume the Sussexes in the years to come. The world witnessed a fairy tale, but everyone actually present experienced the opening act of a royal disaster. But while the royal wedding disaster exposed the cracks within the monarchy, another battlefield was emerging. One where Meghan Markle's Hollywood ambitions would face their most devastating defeat. The entertainment industry she had once sought to conquer was about to deliver its own brutal verdict. Initially, Meghan's transition from royal life to Hollywood mogul seemed promising. A lucrative Netflix deal, high-profile partnerships, and the backing of industry titans like Oprah Winfrey suggested a golden future. But behind the glossy announcements and carefully crafted press releases, a different story was unfolding. One of professional disappointment and industry-wide backlash. With Love, Meghan, her flagship Netflix series became an unmitigated disaster. Despite massive marketing budgets and prime promotional placement, the show failed to break into Netflix's top 300 most-watched programs of 2025. Industry insiders describe Meghan as seriously freaking out over the catastrophic ratings, with sources revealing she keeps insisting something's gone wrong, while deep down she knows people just aren't tuning in. But the ratings failure was just the beginning. Behind closed doors, Hollywood veterans began sharing disturbing accounts of working with the Sussexes. The Wrap interviewed exhausted agents and industry veterans who described a revolving door of staff at Arkawell and unanimous sentiment. Life's too short to work there. No, his wife is determined to sort of become the next Gwyneth Paltrow and have all this crazy stuff, $14. Bottles of jam and making stuff in other people's kitchens. Well, if that's what she wants to do, it's fine. Multiple insiders revealed that Harry and Meghan had worn out their welcome in Hollywood with an iron-fisted desire for control combined with a lack of experience. Collaborators described the couple as making the collaborative process very hard, to the point that there was no collaboration at all, with dealings becoming a nightmare. British TV expert Nikki delivered perhaps the most devastating assessment. They were everywhere, but they have no real audience. Nobody cares. He compared them unfavorably to Hollywood royalty like Beyoncé and Leonardo DiCaprio, noting that industry insiders were saying, "We have Beyoncé, Goldie Hawn, George Clooney. We don't need these two." Even longtime supporter Oprah Winfrey reportedly began distancing herself, refusing calls and meetings, a strategic retreat that signaled to the entire industry that the Sussex brand had become toxic. Comedian Ricky Gervais publicly mocked Meghan's desperation, calling her a wannabe celebrity who can't give it up and telling her to move along because you are not the actress Hollywood wants. Meghan's repeated attempts to reinvent herself from lifestyle guru to hospitality mogul were met with industry skepticism.